In a world where boundaries blur and connections span continents, globalization has become the defining force of our era. Yet, as the tides of change sweep across the globe, they bring with them profound environmental consequences. In this documentary, we'll explore how the interconnectedness of our globalized world has reshaped ecosystems, altered landscapes, and threatened the delicate balance of our planet. Welcome to the Tides of Change, Globalization, and its environmental impact.
Let's start with our top story. The UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres has said globalization has left many behind.
This is all about frustration. There's plenty of evidence that climate change is...
The country has been included as one of the troubled markets vulnerable to changes.
Communities around the world are bearing the brunt of this environmental degradation. From indigenous peoples fighting to protect their ancestral lands to urban residents choking on polluted air, the impacts are felt far and wide.
In today's globalized world, the relationship between economic growth and our environment is pretty complicated, especially when it comes to air pollution. It's like a double-edged sword. Globalization has both worsened and helped tackle the issue. On one hand, the rush for economic development has led to more factories and industries popping up, especially in developing countries. Unfortunately, many of these places don't have strong environmental regulations, so they end up pumping out a lot of pollution. Plus, companies often move their production to countries with lax rules, making things worse in those places. And let's not forget about all the stuff we are shipping around the world, whether it's by plane, ship, or truck. Transporting goods burns a ton of fossil fuels and spews out harmful gases and particles into the air. But it's not all bad news. Globalization has brought some positive changes. We've seen cleaner technologies and better practices being shared between countries, which has helped clean up the air in some places. And there's been a push for international agreements like the Paris Agreement to tackle climate change and pollution together. In my opinion, finding the right balance is key. We need to keep enjoying the benefits of globalization, like better access to goods and services, but we also have to do it in a way that doesn't trash the planet. That means tightening up regulations, promoting cleaner technologies, and changing the way we consume and produce things. Ultimately, we need to think about the kind of world we want to live for our kids and grandkids. It's about making sure everyone can enjoy a healthy environment and a prosperous future.
In the ocean world, globalization has fueled a voracious appetite for seafood, driving unsustainable fishing practices that deplete marine resources and threaten the health of marine ecosystems. Overfishing decimates fish populations, disrupting marine food chains and jeopardizing the livelihoods of coastal communities. Meanwhile, destructive fishing methods like bottom trawling wreak havoc on delicate habitats, such as coral reefs, reducing them to lifeless underwater deserts. The consequences are stark and sobering. Deforestation ravages ancient forests, depriving countless species of their natural habitats and pushing them to the brink of extinction. Habitat destruction disrupts delicate ecosystems, triggering a cascade of ecological imbalances that reverberate throughout the food chain. Moreover, globalization's relentless pursuit of agricultural expansion and resource extraction exacerbates land degradation and deforestation. Large-scale farming operations clear vast swaths of land from monoculture crops, depleting soil fertility and disrupting fragile ecosystems.
In mining, it can affect erosion, sinkholes, and loss of biodiversity, groundwater and surface water by chemicals that emitted in the mining processes, while the deforestation, it can also cause loss of biodiversity, disrupts the water cycle, increases soil erosion, and decreases the natural beauty of the surroundings. So how can we stop it? We can go paperless, recycle, and plant more trees, use eco-friendly equipment, rehabilitating mining sites, and shutting down all the illegal miners.
Meanwhile, climate change, exacerbated by greenhouse gas emissions from industrial activities, threatens to disrupt weather patterns, raise sea levels, and unleash devastating natural disasters.
On the other hand, globalization also has contributed significantly to people's lives around the globe. It created platforms that address issues such as biodiversity and climate change. It also gives technological advancement through access of internet and digital technologies. It reduces poverty, which created employment opportunities and access to education and healthcare. And lastly, it increased people's standard way of living. We consumers has a wide range of access to a variety of goods and services which improve our quality of life.
This unprecedented level of connectivity comes at a cost. Rapid urbanization transforms landscapes, as sprawling cities emerge and expand, devouring natural habitats in their wake. Industrialization drives the relentless extraction of resources, from fossil fuels to minerals, reshaping ecosystems and leaving behind scars on the Earth's surface.
We have many ways for the solution. First, encourage every businesses to adopt sustainable practices such as reducing waste generation, recycling materials, and implementing eco-friendly production processes can help minimize the impact of globalization and pollution. Second, investing in robust waste management infrastructure, including recycling facilities, waste treatment plants, and landfill management. And it is essential to effectively manage and reduce land pollution resulting from increased consumption and production associated with globalization. Third, embracing a circular economy model that prioritizes resource efficiency, reuse, and recycling can help minimize waste generation and reduce the environmental impact of globalization on land ecosystems. Fourth, addressing the environmental challenges posed by globalization requires global cooperation and coordination. Collaborative efforts among countries, businesses, and organizations are essential to develop and implement sustainable solutions to reduce land pollution and protect the environment. In my conclusion, while globalization has undoubtedly contributed to the land pollution, proactive measures, sustainable practices, and international cooperation can help mitigate these negative effects and promote a more environmentally sustainable approach to global economic activities.
As we confront the negative effects of globalization on the environment, it becomes clear that transformative change is urgently needed. By reimagining our economic systems, embracing sustainable practices, and prioritizing environmental stewardship, we can chart a more equitable and resilient path forward for people and the planet.
Blow softly on my heart, oh soft wind coming from the past, Roman and autumn.
Only now do I realise just how lucky I've been.
This is the breath of romance.
There
world, billions of trees there, all of them gorgeous.